for sure. I just know that, we start the season with Emma believing that Neil is probably dead. I think she still holds a little flicker of hope that there's been some way that he has survived this fall through the portal, even though he had been shot. But as far as she knows, she may never see him again, and she is stuck on a boat with Captain Hook, who she does have a connection to. I don't think Emma's mind is not on romance at all right now. I mean, she's worried about getting Henry back, but the reality is Hook is a kindred spirit. He's someone who's been through some of the same hard things in his past that Emma had been through in her past. And so there is a connection there just because of the types of people that they are and the way that they were raised. So I'm interested to see where the writing goes with that. And, it's obviously complicated by the fact that she does think Neil is probably dead. I mean, it'd be one thing if she thought she was going to save Neil. She probably wouldn't be, connecting with Hook on any level. But if he's dead and that's who's with her and he's helping her find her son, I think that definitely leaves room for some, chemistry.
Well, I think that now that we have the common goal, which is to retrieve Henry, we're going to have to put our egos aside and address these internal obstacles pretty immediately. And I think that now that Prince Charming and Snow White are being put in the position of being the heroes again, they're going to be able to work together more smoothly.
Of course, there's been conflict with that from the very beginning, so now we're all thrown onto that boat together, and we all have very different sets of rules that we have set for ourselves. So I think it's going to be, there's going to be some chaos, not just between Hook and I, but with everybody. But we'll see if we can all try to find a common ground to where we all can work together and get Henry back. We'll see if we can do that or not. I don't know.
When I think about the conflicts between these characters, especially the women, there has been a threat with Emma, but I find that these two characters they're more relatable than Snow and Regina. And, they both have been abandoned in a sense, both Regina and Emma. And even though Regina had her parents there, they weren't the greatest role models. And her mother did choose power over her daughter, very similar to Rumpel's character. So I think they have more in common, Emma and Regina. So maybe they will end up working well together. Who knows? I mean, if they're too buddy-buddy, then it's not going to be interesting.
We're in these dire moments of crisis. There's certain parts of ourselves that are more vulnerable that come out and you feel free enough to represent or present, and then you're going to go back to reality, and sometimes it's hard to be that vulnerable again. And no matter how much the Charming family works together, and no matter how much Emma tries to logically understand their decision, there's still so many years of her life that they missed, and they're still the same age. There's all these sort of bizarre problems that will always keep those relationships complicated. Magic and having some sort of powers is something that's very uncomfortable for Emma and something that will always be hard for her to accept. And she is definitely aware that it's not something you just naturally access. It's something that you would have to learn how to use, how to be skilled enough to use it or access it at your own will instead of it just popping up when you don't want it to.
I think and I hope that, the rest of this season is Charming kind of going forward and, having those both sides, David Nolan and Charming kind of come together into one, where he gets back to his original Charming, Prince Charming. I think that's my hope for the season anyway.